Hope you enjoy the next one. This is Sullivan Eyes getting my latest review on God Eater Episode 7, A Flower in Bloom. This episode I like very much. I really do. Oh, I just wish I did the review sooner. Okay, it starts off with Lenka, Limbo, and Alisa. They're far away, after Limbo managed to rescue them, and right now they're in some trouble, being surrounded by enemies and far from their away from their backup from trying to rescue them. So basically, like they're trapped in enemy territory, but things don't go so well for them. Right now they're like trapped, but they have an idea. But Limbo has an idea where to go. He takes them to this place, it's this kind of sanctuary where there's a waterfall and people living there. One of the people that lives there, the little girl who was one of the refugees that Linka helped rescue a couple episodes back. I think it was episode 4, I think. After Alicia showed up. Yeah, it was episode 4. Apparently that whole place is a safe zone where people who are denied by Fenrir, the people that Linka and the God Eaters all work for, or they stay over there in peace and huddle these, being protected in secret. Like basically, the government won't help you, but they have a safe zone where they're all being treated fairly and protected. At it. I really like this episode because it showed that that the people that Lenka, those people that Lenka tried to save, but he felt that he didn't do enough to help them. It means that they're still alive. It means that Lenka doesn't have to feel guilty. That means that they survived. That means he doesn't have to feel bad anymore. Now he knows that they're safe. He, he wants to understand what is this place, but and even asks Limpo a bunch of questions. Apparently, Limbo, he's been the one that's been helping and supporting these refugees in secret. And being a high class god eater and a captain, and I guess it gives him certain privileges, but apparently he stole a lot of stuff that belonged to the government and giving to them. And he also, I'm sorry, I like this episode because it shows that Limbo, he does want to help people, even though he doesn't smile all the time and smokes, and he seems a bit of a badass, but he does care about people a lot. It proves that he does have a nice side. I mean, he didn't just. I mean, we did see him as a badass, him beating them the God Eaters, but we got to see more from him. And even though now that they're safe, and things don't go easy, things are gonna be a little bit hard for them though, because they're in the forest, in this forest that's hit by trees. But apparently these trees too, they're origami. They have the ability to kill. They have the ability to kill small, or to anything that touches them. Um, it makes sense. Like, what better? It makes sense because if anything touches the trees, anything big or large, or comes in contact with them, like for example, certain origami would come after the people, they would be protected by the trees, since they too are origamis, the same weapons that make up their the god arcs and make them god eaters. It's a nice it's good. It's nice that we get to see that there are people still surviving, even though they're not hunted by the government, but they still have people who's willing to fight for them, like Limbo. Oh, you Limbo knows that now that they're in this safe zone, they can rest a little bit, but it's gonna be hard because this place, even though it's kept a secret, the government isn't helping them a lot. That they do need help and protection. He asked Linka to follow him while he lets Elisa stay behind. Elisa, she hasn't gotten over her anxiety. She's still frazzled and she hasn't gotten her confidence back. And there's a part of her that still remembers, I guess, being in contact with that black Vajra, that black origami. It's like it's very hard for her to truly understand how she can get over her fear and anxiety. I mean, and when she first started, she was an aggro badass. Now she's been turned and cornered into a scared little girl. Um, and I like that we got to see her, take a bath, but not to sound, not to know scummy, but but I want to see her, get over her anxiety soon. I want to see her go back into the fearless warrior she was. Yes. Things don't go. Things, even though they're in a safe zone, it's not always safe. hey, like those oracle cells trees, those arigamis. Hey, they can work on only small fry origamis, like basically. But any larger origamis like Vajras, they can't protect it and answer them because they have tougher skin. And there's even I even saw even there's even this armored plated scorpion looking origami. Hey, like kind of like imagine a giant scorpion medieval covered in silver armor. It's a lot, probably a lot tougher, tougher. Uh, and Linka, he wants to help. He wants to fight, but he asks. But there's a part of him that still doubts himself. He can fight with a broken weapon? Arguing that his god arc is dead. But Limbo asked him, "And why do you want to kill Aragami? Why do you became a god eater? Believe in your god arc, basically. Basically, he's telling him not to give up, and him up, because I think Limbo believes in him and believes that he has a lot of potential in him. I mean, hell, Limbo was the one that gave him a chance, made him a part of his squadron, which proves that he's willing to be more than fair with people. And he's giving chance. And Lincoln knows if he doesn't do anything, these people could possibly die. He died. I try that. All right, even though they're not protected by the government and they have very little protection. He knows that he must do this. Yes. Which begs the question: what is Limbo fighting for? What was his reason to kill Aragami? We haven't gotten that, and we're just 7 episodes into this series, and it's based on a video game. We're seven episodes in, seven, and yet we still have no reason why he wants to kill the Aragami so badly. We know Alisa's, but not his. Yes. I like that even he stands his ground. He does the best. He even fights with the people. Fights with the people, asking them for help because they know that this is their home now. Even though the danger, even though there's, they have to keep on constant guard. This place is their home. This is the only place they know where to go to. Otherwise, if they go out there, they're dead. Yeah, this is their home. We also get to see something called impulse. This kind of fluid that's kind of fluid that has the ability to affect oracle cells and origamis. Like it was effective in the tree origamis, those oracle cells in them. Apparently, it was used to stimulate them in certain ways and affect them, like artificial cultivation of tree origamis, like a first line of defense. And and Linka, he tries to use this to his advantage, trying to affect this silver scorpion origami. I mean, he tries his best. And at first it works. Tries to see if they can try to get rid of the thing, but it fails. But then he tries a bold move. He puts the impulse fluid into his god arc, and for a moment his god arc real. I think he has the potential, even though to evolve his origami into something more. I mean, we saw that when he first met Alisa, and he was fighting against those flying origami that evolved. He learned to change his god arc into the same thing. And I think he has the ability to adapt and change his weapon depending on the situation. Even though his weapon is broken right now, weapon can be damaged, and it's not completely dead. So basically, that means that this kid Linka, he has the potential to do virtually anything that comes to mind, depending on the situation, how you deal with it. And he said, and one of the things that took my breath away was, "My God arc is not dead." And basically, so basically he listened to Limbo, and he got his God arc to work. He still believed in it, and he survived. That's good. Then there's the flashback, and we get to Johannes and his research team. And, and the news is broadcasting that the Aragami are making their way. They basically keep killing, even though there hasn't been no explanation. And Johannes and his team are coming up with a way to destroy the Aragami and Oracle cells. They even coming up with it. They even reported it to the brass. However, for some reason, the top brass denied their research, basically keeping them from trying to keep them silent. Because if they know that they're researching this could lead to a bad situation. It's a certain media backlash. But they have to find some way to get it to the military. Otherwise, they won't develop weapons enough to counter the Aragami and possibly save themselves from total annihilation. Anyway, I give this 4.5 out of 5 because we got to see that people are still living in this world. Oh, that they're surviving even though they've been denied protection by the government. And they're still being protected. Limbo is really a nice guy. I like he's willing to take a chance with people to protect them. Linka stepping up and finding a way to adapt to the situation, and him trying to get the grips and trying to handle himself. And I can't wait for what happens next. I hope that Lisa gets her composure back. I want to see her fighting and not be the scared little girl that we have been seeing her the last few episodes. I don't want to see her as a scared little girl anymore. I want to see her as an aggro badass, as the Mikasa of this series. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Thank you. This is Sullivan Now. Game of Laser Review on God Eater, episode 7. In Flowers Bloom. Bye. Crazy.